Single mother denied a room in her own hotel, staff fired on the spot. The exhausted woman stood quietly in the grand hotel lobby with her little son asleep against her shoulder. Her clothes were simple, her shoes showed the dust of a long journey, and the small travel bag beside her looked worn from years of use. She politely asked for a room where her son could rest, but before she could finish speaking, the receptionist glanced at her appearance and calmly insisted that every room in the hotel was fully booked. Only seconds later, a wealthy-looking couple entered through the same revolving doors and were immediately offered the finest suite in the building. The young mother looked down, gently kissed her sleeping son's forehead, and quietly stepped away without creating a scene. None of the people standing inside that magnificent hotel realized they had just turned away the woman who owned the entire hotel. Before that bright afternoon came to an end, one careless decision would change several lives forever and remind everyone that true luxury is never measured by marble floors or crystal chandeliers, but by the kindness shown to every stranger. Before this emotional story continues, please take a moment to like this video, leave a heartfelt comment, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe to Kindness Inspire if you believe kindness and second chances still exist. Your support helps us continue sharing inspiring stories that touch hearts around the world. The clear morning sky stretched across the city as 37-year-old Vivian Rowan drove toward the elegant Silver Heaven Hotel, one of the most respected luxury hotels in the country. Sitting quietly in the passenger seat was her 5-year-old son, Owen, who had fallen asleep after an early morning drive. Ever since losing her husband 3 years earlier in a tragic accident, Vivian had raised Owen alone while carrying the enormous responsibility of managing the hotel company they had built together. Their dream had not begun with wealth. Years earlier, Vivian and her husband had worked every possible job inside the hospitality industry. They cleaned guest rooms, folded laundry, served breakfast, welcomed travelers, and often worked late into the night saving every dollar they could. Together they dreamed of creating a hotel where every guest, regardless of appearance or financial status, would be welcomed with warmth and dignity. After years of sacrifice, that dream became reality. Silver Heaven Hotel grew into a nationally respected hospitality brand known for elegant service and beautiful architecture. But after her husband's passing, Vivian stepped away from daily operations to spend more time raising Owen. Professional managers supervised each property while she quietly visited hotels without advance notice, believing that the best way to understand a business was to experience it exactly as ordinary guests did. That morning she intentionally dressed simply. A light beige sweater, blue jeans, comfortable white sneakers. No designer handbag. No expensive jewelry. Only a simple wedding ring she still chose to wear. She wanted to see whether employees truly followed the values upon which the company had been built. As the automatic glass doors opened, the spacious hotel lobby welcomed visitors with polished marble floors, elegant flower arrangements, indoor fountains, and soft piano music drifting through the bright open space. Sunlight poured through towering windows, creating a peaceful atmosphere. Everything looked perfect. Until Vivian reached the reception desk. Behind the counter stood Natalie Brooks, a 33-year-old front desk supervisor who had gradually begun judging guests by appearances instead of treating everyone equally. Vivian politely requested a standard room for herself and Owen. Without making much eye contact, Natalie explained that no rooms remained available. Vivian quietly thanked her. She had no intention of arguing. Yet something immediately felt wrong. Only that morning she had reviewed hotel occupancy reports. More than 20 rooms remained vacant. As she stepped away carrying Owen, an elegantly dressed businessman and his wife entered the lobby. Natalie's smile immediately changed. Within moments she offered them several premium suites with panoramic city views. Vivian noticed everything. Not because she felt personally offended, but because she imagined how countless ordinary guests must have experienced similar moments without ever discovering the truth. Nearby, a young hotel concierge named Lucas Bennett, 25 years old, quietly watched Owen sleeping peacefully against his mother's shoulder. Without hesitation, Lucas approached carrying a bottle of water and a small plush teddy bear from the children's welcome collection. He gently offered both to Owen with a kind smile. He never asked who they were. He simply noticed a tired child. Vivian thanked him warmly. Instead of revealing her identity immediately, she chose to remain inside the lobby. For nearly an hour, she quietly observed. Some employees welcomed every visitor with genuine warmth. Others clearly treated guests differently depending upon clothing, luggage, and appearance. She watched an elderly woman struggle with heavy suitcases before a housekeeper finally rushed to help. She noticed a young family waiting patiently while attention focused on guests arriving in luxury vehicles. Her heart became heavy. The hotel remained beautiful. Its culture needed healing. Later that afternoon, Regional Director Graham Holloway, 53 years old, returned unexpectedly from another property. The moment he saw Vivian sitting quietly with Owen, surprise immediately crossed his face. He hurried toward her with sincere respect. Nearby employees exchanged confused glances. Within moments, whispers spread throughout the lobby. Natalie slowly realized the impossible truth. The woman she had refused only hours earlier wasn't simply another traveler. She was the founder and owner of Silver Heaven Hotels. Silence settled across the reception area. Many employees expected anger. Others expected public embarrassment. Vivian calmly smiled. She simply requested that every department gather inside the conference hall after the evening shift. That evening, receptionists, concierges, restaurant servers, housekeeping staff, maintenance teams, security officers, and department managers filled the spacious conference room. Little Owen quietly sat near the front coloring pictures with the teddy bear Lucas had given him resting beside him. Vivian stepped onto the stage without notes. She didn't criticize anyone. She didn't shout. Instead, she shared the story of the very first guest room she had ever cleaned alongside her late husband. She described long nights washing linens, carrying heavy laundry carts, and dreaming that one day every traveler would feel respected regardless of wealth. She explained that every guest who walks through hotel doors carries an invisible story. Some arrive celebrating weddings. Others visit sick relatives. Some travel for job interviews. Others search for comfort after heartbreaking losses. No employee ever truly knows what someone has experienced before reaching the front desk. That uncertainty alone should inspire compassion. Vivian then gently addressed the events of the afternoon. She explained that denying equal respect because of appearances violated every value Silver Heaven represented. An internal review quickly revealed something even more concerning. Natalie had received several previous coaching sessions regarding unequal guest treatment. Despite repeated opportunities to improve, the same pattern continued. Vivian made one difficult decision. Natalie's employment ended that evening. Not because she unknowingly denied the owner. Because she had repeatedly denied dignity to many ordinary guests who deserved kindness. The conference room remained completely silent. Many employees quietly reflected upon their own behavior. Then Vivian invited Lucas to stand beside her. The young concierge looked genuinely surprised. She thanked him publicly. Not because he recognized the hotel owner. He never had. Instead, he recognized a tired mother carrying a sleeping child. That simple act perfectly reflected everything Silver Heaven hoped to become. Several weeks later, Lucas accepted a promotion leading guest experience training across the entire company. Every new employee completed empathy-based hospitality workshops. Training focused less on memorized greetings and more on understanding human experiences. A simple sentence appeared inside every staff training room. ***, treat every guest like someone you would welcome into your own home. ***. Vivian also introduced anonymous guest visits. Ordinary families, elderly travelers, students, business professionals, and people wearing everyday clothing quietly visited different hotels throughout the year. The purpose wasn't catching mistakes. It was protecting kindness. Within 1 year, Silver Heaven hotels became nationally recognized for exceptional guest care. Guest satisfaction reached record levels. Employee pride increased dramatically. Families returned year after year because they remembered how warmly they had been welcomed. One bright spring afternoon nearly a year later, Vivian and Owen returned to the same hotel. As they entered the lobby, employees immediately greeted an elderly couple carrying heavy bags. Another staff member warmly welcomed a family wearing simple clothes after a long road trip. Children received coloring books. Parents received assistance before asking. Every guest smiled. Owen quietly looked up at his mother. He said the hotel finally felt exactly like home. Vivian smiled through gentle tears. She believed her late husband would have been proud. Years passed. Millions of travelers stayed inside Silver Heaven hotels. Most never learned about the afternoon when the owner herself had once been denied a room. They didn't need to know. They experienced the lesson every single day. Warm smiles replaced judgment. Helping hands arrived before requests. Respect became the hotel's greatest tradition. Visitors remembered far more than beautiful rooms. They remembered how the staff made them feel. Because elegant buildings may impress people for a weekend. But genuine kindness remains inside hearts forever. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, leave a meaningful comment, share it with someone who believes kindness matters, and subscribe to Kindness Inspire. Your support helps us continue creating stories that inspire hope, compassion, and second chances. Special request, comment below. Kindness is the greatest luxury. Let's fill the comments with this message and inspire others to treat every person with dignity and respect. As the bright afternoon sunlight filled the magnificent lobby once again, travelers from every walk of life entered through Silver Heaven's welcoming doors. Some carried expensive luggage, while others carried only hope for a peaceful night's rest. Yet every single person received the same warm smile, the same respectful greeting, and the same heartfelt welcome. Standing quietly beside Owen, Vivian realized that the greatest success she and her late husband had ever created wasn't the beautiful hotel itself. It was the culture of compassion living inside it. Because in the end, True hospitality is not found in luxury suites or elegant chandeliers. It is found in the simple decision to make every stranger feel like they truly belong.